When it comes to volleying, great volleying doesn't start at the net. It starts before the shot. When you anticipate, when you plan to finish, and when you move forward with intention, your volleys are gonna become more decisive instead of reactive. So in this video, you're gonna learn a few key volley techniques and how to apply them with the intention of finishing points at the net. So here are my suggestions to have a more successful time at the net. Number one, make sure that your approach is good. And if not, go back and try it again. So what makes a good approach? A good approach is a ball that invites you, the person who is approaching, to walk into the court, not out of the court. So if you're hitting a ball and all of a sudden after you hit the ball, you feel like that ball threw you back, that is not the time for you to be approaching. Now, if the person hits short and it bounces somewhere in the middle of no man's land and is not pushing you back, then that's a good time for you to approach. Now, if the ball is really, really high, that ball is gonna be really difficult. So that's, again, in my opinion, that's not a good time for approaching. So the best time for approaching is something that is not too high, somewhere around the shoulder level, and something that invites you to come into the court. So you can approach both with a slice or with a ground stroke with a topspin. But remember, this is an approach, it's not a winner. So be careful with how much pace and how much spin you're gonna put on that approach. Why? Because the harder you hit that ball, the faster that ball is gonna make it to the other court, and the faster that person is gonna hit it back to you, which means you're not gonna have that much time to come into the net. So my favorite way to approach is to use a slice. Why? Because that ball is gonna sit low and it's gonna take a while before it makes it to the other side, and it's going to help me come into the net. Besides, it's gonna stay low, which is going to protect me. Now in singles, when you approach, you wanna try to approach either down the line or right at the person. Why? Because it's gonna be easier when you get up to the net to cover what's high percentage for that person, which is a straight line. So let's take, for example, the case where your opponent is in the middle and I'm here on the do side and I'm approaching with a forehand down the line. So that person is running in that direction. The easiest and the closest way for them to get over the net is a straight line. So it doesn't mean they're not gonna go cross court, but the easiest way, the shortest way for them is to go straight. Now, when I come into the net, it's gonna be much easier for me to cover that line because that's where I hit the approach. That's where I went with the ball. So next, after you've decided that you're going to approach, then change your grip to a Continental Grip. Why? Because that is the grip that you're gonna be using to hit volleys. So going back to approaching with a slice, that makes it even easier because you hit a slice with a Continental Grip. But that doesn't mean that you can't approach by using topspin. What that means is that you're gonna wanna take more time after you finish your topspin approach to change your grip and start running. So ideally, you should change your grip as you're running towards the net, not when you get there, because there are way too many things that are happening while you're running. So change that grip and get ready to volley. My next suggestion is learn to hit half volleys and do not lunge for volleys when the volley is too far. Now, what is a half volley? Is that ball that bounces right at your feet. It could be hit as a volley, but the problem is that if you hit it as a volley, that ball is already below the level of the net. So you don't want to be hitting a volley because you're in a vulnerable position. You're somewhere close to the line and you're going to have to pop it up, which is going to invite your opponent to hit a winner. So instead, what you want to do is as you're coming in and that ball ends up being short, then let it bounce, take a few steps back, and then hit another approach by hitting a slice. That's what a half volley is. And take your time. You're basically neutralizing the shot and restarting what you started here on the baseline. So take a few steps back, hit that slice approach, and then keep coming. The next thing is make sure you respect the split step when that person hits the ball. Why? Because the split step is the beginning of your next shot. And when that person hits the ball, that's when you're going to realize what that person is doing. So when you make that split step, your mind should be on the other side, reading all the body language of your opponent, reading the racket. Are they trying to hit topspin? Are they trying to hit a slice? Are they going for a lob? So you can pick up a lot of stuff by looking at the person, by looking at the distribution of the body weight. So when you make that split step, make sure that you stop thinking about how good or bad the approach was. If you are at the net, it's time to volley. So making that split step, take a look, and then get ready for the next shot. By the way, this is the way that I coach my students in person and now online. So if you're interested in having me review one or a few of your strokes, just go ahead and email me at martha@youronlinetenniscoach.com, and I'll take a look and we can chat. All right, so back to the video. My next suggestion is never expect to finish up the ball with your first volley. It's very rare that somebody would come up to the net and just make a winner off of the first shot. If you look at any good doubles player, any good singles player, it's always serve or approach, come in, set up volley, and then they put it away on the next volley or the volley after that. Why you don't want to try to make a winner with that first volley is, again, because there's so many things that are happening at the same time. You're coming to the net, you're changing your grip, you're watching your opponent, you're trying to make it to the net. You want to make it comfortable on yourself. You want to be looking for comfort for you. Ideally, you don't want to be concentrating on what they don't do well. You want to concentrate on what is comfortable for you, what gives you the most amount of time, and what you're good at. So remember that that first volley is always going to be about placement and not power. It is a setup so that you can win it on the next one or the one after that. The next suggestion is right when you're about to convert the point. After you've hit that first placement volley, you want to concentrate on breathing. You also want to concentrate on watching that ball rotate so that you can stop that thinking mind from giving you all kinds of scenarios and all kinds of possibilities. You just want to bring your anxiety down and give that left side of your brain a game. Figure out which way the ball is turning. This way, that way, forwards, backwards. That way, your right side of the brain can do what you know how to do, what you've done for a while. In the past, I made a video on how to watch the ball, which I'm going to link over here. Go ahead and go through it because I know you're going to pick up a bunch of tips that are going to help you watch the ball better. The next suggestion is footwork. Footwork to me is the main cause of missing, especially your winners. So you want to keep the feet going. That is the main philosophy behind footwork. You have to keep the feet moving. And ideally, what your legs are doing, your lower body is trying to keep you in balance. Your lower body is supporting your upper body so that your upper body can support your arm, and your arm can support your hand, and your hand can win the point. So your legs need to keep you moving so that the distance between you and the racket doesn't get too far. Because guess what? When the distance gets too far, then your instinct is going to turn on and your body is going to feel like it's falling. And guess what? It's going to recruit your arms so that you don't fall. So your instinct is not going to care that you're about to make a winner or that you're hitting a forehand or a backhand. Your instinct is going to preserve your body. And my last suggestion is continue to do it over and over, even if you miss, especially if you're missing. Do not abandon that strategy because it is a good strategy. It means that you're building something. So it's going to help you grow as a tennis player. So if you keep getting past, try and figure out what it is that you did to get past. Did you miss the split step? Was your approach in the wrong place? And then try to fix it in the next one and continue to do it. I want to thank all of you guys that have subscribed, and to the ones that haven't subscribed, I know there's about 82% of you that watch these videos and don't subscribe. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the share button if you want to share it with somebody. This really helps my channel grow, and it helps me continue to create content that I can share with you guys. So good luck with your volleys.